Hello, my name is Michael Tillinger, and I'm a scientist, researcher and an author trained in the field of pharmaceutics, and I'm standing at the spectacular site of Adam's calendar, or Enki's calendar as I now call it, here at the southern tip of Africa in South Africa, at the edge of a cliff looking down into what's known as the Barberton Valley, with some pyramids down in the middle of this impact crater that are aligned with the rise of Orion's belt. And why am I telling you this? I'm telling you this because this is the subject of my presentation at the Pythagoras conference in October. So I would like to invite you to come to the Pythagoras conference and share in the presentation that I will be presenting regarding the vanished civilizations of Southern Africa and specifically South Africa. Adam's calendar, as I've called it, was discovered in 2003 by Johann Heine, quite by accident, when he was flying over it and recognized these formations of rocks that clearly spelled out that they were not accidental and not natural, and that they were man-made or put here for a specific purpose. Well, little did we know that that accidental discovery will lead to one of the most spectacular discoveries that are directly linked to the origins of humankind. Ancient Zulu tradition and ancient African wisdom tells us that this place is known as Inzalo Yelanga, or birthplace of the sun. It is here where it is believed that humanity was first created by the Anunnaki. And the research that I've been involved with over the past nearly 5 years now, since 2007, clearly points to those theories and those stories and those mythologies and oral traditions that have been passed down by African knowledge keepers for thousands of years. We are now finding that the scientific evidence and the measurements that we're taking in many of these circular stone structures, and specifically here at Adam's calendar or Enki's calendar, support all this ancient knowledge and wisdom. So it is truly a breathtaking new discovery that brings the focus of human origins right back here to Southern Africa, and specifically this place, Adam's calendar or Enki's calendar in South Africa. I'll be presenting spectacular discoveries regarding to the vanished civilization of Southern Africa, which are clearly the physical missing pieces of the puzzle that were presented by Zecharia Sitchin. And I've discovered that there's a vanished civilization that comprises of more than 10 million circular stone structures that have been totally ignored until I started putting some sort of sense to it. But the fascination with these circular stone structures goes back to about 500 years ago, when the Portuguese explorers first came around the Cape of Storms and the Cape of Good Hope, and they came on board, on shore, and they interacted with a native population here, and they were inquisitive about these stone structures, but were clearly told that the people that were living here at the time did not build them. And since then they've pretty much been forgotten and ascribed to the activities of the local people and the migrating Bantu tribes as they were coming from the north. That is now no longer the case. We have physical evidence that more than 10 million of these stone structures lie scattered throughout Southern Africa, and the links can be drawn directly to the activities of the Anunnaki that Zecharia Sitchin made so popular, and the activities that we read about in the Sumerian tablets in the deep Abzu, right here in Southern Africa, where the gold mines were established, and the giant gold mining empire was established by the Sumerian deity Enki. The links between Adam's calendar, this site, the Great Zimbabwe ruins, which we believe are the domain of Enki, and the Great Pyramid of Giza will be explored, because this site is directly connected, going north in this direction, to the Great Pyramids of Giza and Great Zimbabwe ruins in Zimbabwe, which is probably about 600 miles north of here. The information I've gathered over the last 4 to 5 years is mind-blowing. I never in my wildest dreams could have imagined that I would stumble upon such discoveries and the physical evidence that now supports pretty much everything that Zecharia Sitchin wrote about. And in fact, there are some instances that some of his interpretations now get a lot more clarity and a lot more meaning, where previously it was really quite vague. now we can really look at it and realize how accurate and true those Sumerian translations were. So I'm really looking forward to sharing much of this information with you, and also talk to you about what the takeout is from discovering these civilizations. And that takeout is that these people lived here for nearly 270,000 years, very successfully, mining gold, being well fed, which I'll prove to you and show to you, without money. And that takes me into the concept of living in a world without money, which I call contributionism. Well, guess what? The ancient African knowledge systems and the culture already has that kind of system that originated here at the southern tip of Africa, and that is called Ubuntu. So I will also explore and expose to you my philosophies about moving into a world without money as we cross this 2012 threshold into the new age of humanity, new higher levels of consciousness and enlightenment, embracing the concepts of living in a world without money, Ubuntu contributionism, coming all the way back, the full cycle where it all began for humanity as a species, evolving to the point where we are today, being oppressed by the financial institutions of the world, realizing that we do not need money to survive, to have abundance. All you need is unity consciousness, moving back into communities where people work towards the greatest benefit of all in their community. I look forward to seeing you at the Pythagoras conference in October. Click on the coupon button so that you can get your special discount, and really come and see us at the Pythagoras conference. I greatly look forward to seeing you there. Thank you.